and deliberate manner until these threats to public safety are eliminated. We take this initial approach while concurrently putting various other measures in place that would constitute a longer-term, sustainable approach to maintaining order, peace, and safety.
Since Trinidad and Tobago's independence in 1962, 9 states of emergency have been declared. In other news, the Miscellaneous Provisions FATF Compliance Bill 2026 was unanimously approved in the Senate on Tuesday. Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development and Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Kennedy Swaratsing, said the legislation will help position Trinidad and Tobago for sustainable growth within an increasingly competitive global economy. This FATF Compliance Bill 2026 will amend 11 laws and is aimed at strengthening the country's compliance with standards set by the Financial Action Task Force. FATF is an intergovernmental organization which issues guidelines to combat global money laundering, terrorism financing, and the financing of proliferation. Piloting the bill, Minister of Planning, Economic Affairs and Development and Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Kennedy Swaratsing, said it is critical to protecting the country's economic stability and international credibility.
FATF compliance matters because the strength of our financial systems affect every job, every business, every investment, national and international, and ultimately the cost of living experienced by everyday citizens.
Minister Swaratsing noted that FATF compliance contributes directly to national security.
Illicit finance is not an abstract concept. It is closely linked to organized crime, corruption, trafficking networks, as well as activities that threaten public safety. Financial transparency provides law enforcement agencies with tools to trace illicit funds, dismantle criminal records, and prevent the financing of harmful activities.
The minister warned that non-compliance could trigger serious economic fallout, including restricted banking transactions, cautious investors, higher borrowing costs, added scrutiny for businesses, and obstacles for ordinary citizens. The bill was unanimously approved, with all 30 senators voting in favor. Into some sport. In secondary schools cricket premiership 1 division, Presentation College San Fernando hammered Vishnu Boys Hindu College by 193 runs on Tuesday in what was expected to be a tense contest. Batting first, Prez posted a competitive 286 for 8 off their 50 overs. Levi Ghani top scored with 75 off 88 balls, while Riyad Mohammed contributed 67. Keel Thomas provided late fireworks, smashing 64 off just 40 deliveries, including 5 sixes. For Vishnu Boys, Inshant Rupnarayan was the pick of the bowlers, claiming 3 wickets, while Nikhil Manik and Ashmir Jumadeen each picked up 2. In their chase, Daniel Holder, 29, Savir Rambaran, 27, were the top scorers for Vishnu Boys. Bowling for Presentation College, Zion Phillip ripped through the Vishnu Boys lineup, taking 4 for 13. And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today, Vermala Bakaran. Good morning, Vermala.
Good morning, Carrie. How are you today?
It's Wednesday morning. I'm doing pretty good. What about you?
It's the middle of the week. That means we are halfway through.
Halfway through, just going over that hump, you know?
I told you March is going to fly by really quickly.
Yeah, just as February did.
Unfortunately, January didn't.
No.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
Cabinet has approved the establishment of the regulatory framework for the registration and management of classic, antique, and vintage vehicles in Trinidad and Tobago.
Music. Culture.
We are now in a state where I can now proudly announce that our gas production will increase by a significant amount given all the various projects that are now expected to come online.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM. Wake up to the issues that matter most on the Ground Report. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. for real talk, real analysis, and real perspectives on the stories shaping our nation. News, current affairs, and voices from the ground, unfiltered and unapologetic. That's the Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked. This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The Ground Report, the Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report, the Ground Report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
We must make the government work for the people rather than have the people work to keep a government in place.
You must develop a sense of self-reliance. You must develop a sense of confidence. And you must know and remember that parliamentarians are your servants and that you are the lords of the land. And so I ask you to put your hand on your heart, every one of you, and shout after me, I am the government. Louder, I am the government. I am the government.
shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Time check. It's 11 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. Yours truly, the pitbull of radio. That's me, Andy Williams, eh? Lennox Smith, the big word man. Director Snipes.
Water you turned into wine.
Yeah. Let me say welcome to those of you that are now locking on for the first time finding back the Ground Report. Welcome back. And now let me say morning to all my drivers. All my drivers. My maxi taxi drivers, PH drivers, bus drivers, truckers, private cars, private vans. All my drivers, a pleasant good morning to you. And again, welcome to Talk City 91.1 FM, The Ground Report. The number one talk show program in the morning in Trinidad and Tobago between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. With yours truly, the Pitbull. And let me say welcome to all of you that are looking to us online. Our several platforms. And for those of you that are looking to us at Talk City 91.1 FM on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter. Not forgetting, for those of you that look on to us on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, Corridor Transformation on YouTube, 648 Television, that's Irvin Felix them on YouTube. You can also get us on the Ground Report, the Ground Report on YouTube. Yes. So when you leave your taxis, your maxis, please make sure and log on to the Ground Report via social media on your phone. And you know how we're finding it, right? My drivers! Anybody tell you all this morning change that dial? You don't want to hear 91.1 FM? Let me know. Watch them in the mirror. And if they tell you they change your dial from this program, this big program, you all know the code. Plain talk, bad manners. Put them out of your maxi. Put them out. Put them out of your taxi. Put them out. Put them out of your PH vehicle. Put them out. What's it if you're hitchhiking a drop? Throw them out.
Bang, bang, bang.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
So now let's take some God. Let's take some God early this morning, some blessings. Before I start to acknowledge all the hundreds of you that already look onto us on social media, on Facebook and on YouTube. And don't forget, Trinidad and Tobago, we must
We must make the government work for the people rather than have the people work to keep a government in place.
Guys, now listen to the first verse and chorus. Listen all you. Close your eyes. Get that Holy Spirit in you this morning. Get that clean heart, that clean mind in you. Listen.
Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God. Hear me, name one. Hear me, name one. Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you. None like you.
That's so true, none like him.
Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
I'll just say a pleasant good morning to all in sundry this morning. East, west, north, south, central, Tobago. And for all of you that are looking to us on the World Wide Web, throughout the diaspora, a pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. Those of you in South America, Central America, North America. For those of you all in Europe, throughout the Caribbean, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Dominica, Venezuela. Yes, that Trinidad, Venezuela, they still, I say, what the hell wrong with them, boy? What are they doing there? People all in Japan, Austria, Australia, no, South Korea, not North. Some people viewing we and all the Trinidadians, boy, and Tobagonians. Imagine that somewhere we are among the war right now. Yeah, I know that, Joel. In Aruba, yeah, a lot of people already, but things hot across here right now. Eh? The Iranis and them, just Lagoing thing, man. All in Saudi Arabia, all over there, they're going thing. UEI and all over there, man. Yeah. I don't know Trinidadians like they're like a bad cold, they all over, eh? And Tobagonians, I must say. And I must say a pleasant good morning to our sister Isle Tobago. Mother Bernie, all of you. Silver Fox, all of you. June, Green, all of you across there in Tobago. Mr. Tobago, Miss Tobago. My brothers and sisters of Tobago, a pleasant good morning to you all.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Let me say pleasant good morning to Nigel Snipes, director. Morning, Director Snipes.
Pleasant morning, Andy. Pleasant morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Nice. Well, and up on things so far. You gonna let me know when that boy ready. Oh boy, you know Lennox how he is. Yeah. That big man. When that big man ready. That big fella, Lennox
He's
Smith.
right here.
He's here. Lennox Smith.
He has always been, just like a Boy Scout or a Girls Guy, always adaptable and ready to perform and to be in service at a moment's notice.
Well,
so,
nice.
Having said that, that's a rhetorical question because it goes without saying. But how can I assist you this morning, my friend?
All right. Your assistance this morning is, I don't want nobody seeing you until I'm ready for them to see you live with me. I alone that must be seen this morning, first and foremost. Second, what's on your front burner this morning?
Well, it appears that that might be a piece of wishful thinking because I'm sure that they are hearing. All right. But that being as it may, of course, yesterday we did not, first and foremost, of course, pleasant good morning to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central, in Trinidad, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web, pleasant good day to you. This is, the Wednesday edition of the Ground Report. And of course, we promised yesterday to give you a breakdown as to the 18 areas where motorists will be given some leeway by law, and of course that must be executed by the law enforcement agency or agent or officer, depending on which of them you are in contact with. Why I'm saying that? Because we have, of course, the police, we have those traffic wardens, we have, of course, the licensing officers. So you'll understand why I have given you an array of persons that may be responsible for the execution. And, of course, the period is between 3 and 7 days for any infringement that they may identify you as having committed, and so give you 3 to 7 days. So the violations carrying a three business day compliance period include no identification lights for illumination of identification marks at night. 2, a number of passengers not printed on the right front door of a taxi. 3, no tier and maximum gross weight printed on vehicles. 4, a vehicle without silencers or fitted with cutouts. 5, unauthorized lights to the front or rear of vehicles. 6, unauthorized letters and figures on a vehicle. 7, vehicles without 2 headlamps. 8, vehicles without park lights. 9, vehicle without tail lights. 10, no left-hand drive notice affixed to appropriate vehicle. 11, vehicle without horn And let me repeat that word, vehicles without horn. I know some people, Trinidadian, will want to interpret horn in a different way, but if you do so, you're doing that at your own peril, because it refers to vehicles here. 12, vehicles without
vehicle without horn, eh? But
yeah,
all
vehicle without
vehicle are
horn. You know,
horn.
some Trinidadians might say, well, horn boy, they had that in vehicles too.
Yeah, all vehicle are horn. All
Yeah,
vehicle
and
are horn.
may well find themselves in mortal difficulty in terms of the infringement. But that being as it may, I know that people understand what I mean, what is meant by that statement. 12,
12. What's 12?
Yeah, 12, a vehicle without reflecting mirror. 13, use of vehicle with no windscreen or windshield wiper or defective wiper. I didn't know that they had all that as defects for a vehicle. So people, of course, make sure, like me, I had recently to, of course, upgrade mine because I didn't know that was an infringement until I saw this list. So you get it courtesy the ground report, free of charge. Make use of it so that you do not find yourself in problems with the authorities. 14, public service vehicles without spare tire. So if you are caught as a public service vehicle without spare tire, I wonder what happens if you are private. I suppose it is not here, so therefore you get obliged, so to speak. 15, but that does not mean you will drive your private vehicle without a spare tire, because it is simply not safe. Right? Anytime a tire could blow out, and you will need the services of a spare one. And make sure the spare one, of course, is functional. 15, advertisement placed on the side window of a taxi. So you are taxi drivers, even though you are a commercial vehicle, obviously, in the context of this regulation and the traffic laws, you are not to place any advertisement on the side window of a taxi. So I know people may see that as first time, and you're now hearing of it. Well, of course, the ground report don't bring information that is misleading or in any way designed to put you in jeopardy. Okay, of course, violations carrying a 7 business day compliance period. Well, just about 3. And this will be the 16th. Permitting excess spark, smoke, or visible vapor to emit from a vehicle. So those persons who have bad engine and the spark plugs not firing well, it suggests a tune-up, a oil change, or you may well, of course, need a new engine. 17, vehicle with defective fittings. I'm yet to find out what how to define defective fittings. I suppose it has to be things that will make the vehicle functional and to the optimum, and therefore, if it is not placed or is not functioning as it ought to, then of course I suppose it will be a defective fitting. So we'll check that. I'll check that and give you the details here. And number 18, of course, use of noisy vehicle. So noisy vehicles. So those persons who love to hear their engine blaring as if it's a horn on the roadside, something like what is very familiar among the motorbiking fraternity. They love to hear the noise. Somehow it gives them a sort of drive, a sort of pep. Well, of course, you cannot do that if it is a motor vehicle and not a motorbike. I don't know if the same thing applies to motorbike, but they didn't see that. Use of noisy vehicle. And they say vehicle here, in law, depending on the context, you could say, if you just say moto, then well, it would apply to motorbikes as well. But if they say vehicle, a motorbike is not a vehicle, and therefore, of course, the law will be very specific in terms of the kind of moving or vehicle that is on the roads of Trinidad and Tobago to attract that kind of fine. So those are the 18 people. I would love to hear what the callers would have to say with respect, of course, to that, and whether or not there should be more added, and if so, well, of course, we are right here to, of course, communicate with the authorities on that. But those are the 18 areas that you must be concerned about as far as giving you 3 or 7 days notice to get those defects rectified on your vehicles being used on the roads, and of course the authorities having designated as such. We go for the break, and when we come back, more on this edition of the Ground Report.
Every morning begins with a story, the headlines you need, the voices you trust, the conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you, conversations that spark new ideas, stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
More news, more access, more ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter on air and online. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
This March 8th, in celebration of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly presents Women Who Lead. Imagine a world free of bias and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where women's achievements are celebrated and their voices amplified. For over a century, International Women's Day has championed gender equality, and the journey continues. Join us as we highlight powerful, inspiring women who are breaking barriers and shaping our future. Women Who Lead, launching March 8th on Talk City 91.1 FM. Together, we can forge gender equality.
Inspired by actual events.
My daughters used to think our family was bigger, all because my bill was late.
Meet Johnny. When his electricity bill didn't arrive on schedule, life for him involved a lot of searching.
Bill? Anybody see my bill? Hello? Bill?
Luckily, Johnny's older daughter helped him take charge of his life by signing him up for TNTech's free online e-bill service.
I'm not computer savvy, but this online thing, real easy. In less than 10 minutes, we finish. Now, I get my bill on time, every time. Hey, I might be old school, but I'm feeling light years ahead. And now, my daughters no longer think they have a missing brother named Bill. Thanks, TNTech.
Visit ttec.co.tt to sign up for e-billing today. TNTech, the power to make it work.
The Prime Minister triggered the provisions of the Constitution and asked Her Excellency the President to declare a state of emergency in Trinidad and Tobago. The proclamation was signed by Her Excellency, and a state of emergency came into effect at 12:01 this morning. This government has demonstrated a clear, decisive, zero-tolerance approach to gang-related crime. Upon learning of a threat to state actors and facilities emanating from within the prisons, the government declared a state of public emergency in July of 2025. That state of emergency was extended by the Parliament in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution and ended on January the 31st, 2026. During that period of time, July 2025 to January 2026, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and the Defense Force conducted a number of operations and isolated certain gang leaders from the gangs and enterprises that they control. the threat was eliminated, and significant headway in dismantling the organized criminal networks which have terrorized our population for over a decade, murdering members of the population and other citizens in cold blood and perpetrating heinous, despicable, violent crimes across the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. The murder rate and number of serious crimes dropped precipitously to the lowest recorded numbers in years, owing in no small measure to the diligent intelligence-led efforts of the TTPS and the armed forces. The government, during that time and afterwards, sought to enact legislation that would allow the country to continue along this trajectory. The trajectory of drastically curbing crime and criminal activity by, in part, uprooting and permanently dismantling the gangs that were allowed to grow in power, reach, and wealth unchecked for the decade preceding our tenure. We were successful in some of these legislative efforts, but unfortunately unsuccessful in others. As the Prime Minister stated earlier this morning, the National Security Council met and was given a briefing by the Commissioner of Police last night. The Council was advised that over the last several days, a number of violent criminal activities have taken place in the full gaze of a horrified population, I might add, most of which have been carried out by members of organized criminal gangs. We were further advised that criminal gangs had increased acts of violence on a scale so extensive that they have resulted in multiple deaths, in mass shootings, and that pattern of behavior was set to continue. The Prime Minister and the National Security Council had no choice. We immediately determined to advise Her Excellency, as I have said, that a state of public emergency existed in Trinidad and Tobago. This government is determined to never allow this country to deteriorate into the state of chaos and bloodshed which we met in May of 2025 when we took office. We shall never accept the slow, dangerous surrender to the criminal gangs in our midst. There are examples in the region of territories that have allowed that. Trinidad and Tobago's fate will be different.
From the road to the radio, Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra. And right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, we have mixed views on the SOE. Lennox Smith, we have mixed views on the SOE, and not only that, SOE red flagged Opposition are now concerned about the freedom of expression, but government said there was no other option after the Zuso bill was defeated. That is one. Number two, we are seeing where a government senator not supporting the prime minister's stance on Iran. Right, let me go to that day quick. That is Senator David Naked. He's not supporting the government stance on the situation of Iran. Let me go to that day just now. Oh boy, yeah, I want to go to that. Let me go to that. Let me hear what it is. That's on page 9. Yeah, page 9. Nice. Think I'll find it here. Right.
Not supporting PM's backing of US-Israeli strikes on Iran. Ran over the weekend, a move that has triggered renewed fight. Ment's ranks, a sitting senator has publicly distanced himself from the Prime Minister's position on the escalating conflict in the Middle East. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar endorsed the US-Israeli strikes against Iran over the weekend, a move that has triggered renewed fighting across the region and drawn mixed reactions at home. But Government Senator David Naked has rejected what he described as the actions of the Zionist regime, marking an unusual break in tone from within the administration. Naked, who is Muslim and has family in the region, initially paused when asked to share his views, indicating that he keeps them to himself. He, however, said he had shared his concerns privately with the Prime Minister and that she has long been aware of his views. You think the Honourable Kamla Persad-Bissessar is not aware of my views on these things? She's aware of everything. And she's very respectful and has always been with me. Very respectful. So when, as if you noticed, when someone came into Trinidad, I was not there, she had no problem whatsoever. Don't worry, Kamla Persad-Bissessar knows everything about everyone, and she respects how we feel, but she has her duty to run the country as she sees fit, and I follow my leader. It is believed Naked was referring to the July 3 to 4, 2025, visit by India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Modi has faced sustained criticism from rights groups over the treatment of India's Muslim minority. Muslims in India, numbering more than 200 million, have reported increasing marginalization and discrimination amid the rise of Hindu nationalism under the Bharatiya Janata Party. Despite his objections to developments in the Middle East, Naked insisted that his disagreement does not extend to the government's broader program. My only conflict is how the world has allowed a Zionist entity, a genocidal Zionist entity, to take control of America. That's my conflict there. But as far as my objective, which is to change the lives of Trinidad and Tobago, the people that have been left in poverty, squandermania by. Government Senator not supporting PM's backing of US-Israeli strikes on Iran.
All right. So Lennox Smith, well, I heard that with due respect. You talk very respectable.
Well, yes, of course, he has made his position clear based on his belief because, I mean, let's face it, people have different ideological positioning and feel very strong about certain issues that are emotive, some nestled in religion, some nestled in science, some nestled in simple belief. Of course, and we know, of course, the anthropologists and others will tell you the evolution of humankind is largely due to that kind of dichotomy, that kind of difference. So right in the Middle East there, you have, of course, the Shiite, which, of course, is dominated by Iran, and then you have, of course, the Sunni Muslims, where, of course, Saudi Arabia is probably the leading country there with respect to that category, if you want to call that, of Muslim. And of course, they have their own differences as well. So that will come up. So what you are seeing here is just a microcosm of the larger issue that has engulfed ideological disposition based on religion, as I said, and other issues. So, but I think it is the way you handle it. And I think it was handled very professionally, very forthright, because, I mean, he did mention it to the public via the media. And, of course, he also spoke of personal or private intimations that he would have had with the Honorable Prime Minister on whose instructions he is a senator, and therefore, of course, it is up to her to decide whether or not that is acceptable or not. But he has agreed that she has to run the country in the way that she sees fit, and of course, he has accepted that as well. I'm not seeing much. I'm not putting more than that into it.
I also watching the fact and Tobago here in the papers again here. Where the Privy Council clears the way for 20 million payout to former Paul Coleman murder accused them by what? $20 million payout. Privy Council clear the way. Short and sweet.
Well, the local courts did say that there was an infringement of the fundamental rights of these individuals in more ways than one, but it was more based on abuse. And of course, the evidence were clear. You cannot be in state custody in a secured environment such as a prison, for example. And then you have the very operators abusing the inmates, and I think that is where that stems. It has nothing to do with the guilt or innocence of the accused. What it has to do is with a situation where those who were supposed to have them in protective custody, so to speak, abuse the authority, and it is in that regard the courts have made a decision.
Okay then. Well, healthcare workers say they're going to proceed with protests despite the SOE. But I know when a SOE in place, you really don't supposed to have no protesting. But the healthcare workers say they will still proceed with their protests.
Well, on the last occasion, there was a tolerance, or should I say a clear acceptance that would not affect the people protesting. That was clear. On this occasion, maybe it is not as clear as one would have liked. For example, I see people are talking about Regulation 11, where they're saying that social media, bloggers and so on have to be careful. And of course, the opposition is saying that, listen, that is a direct affront to freedom of speech. And of course, they made reference to the Dimashq night scenario, so as to reinforce their argument. This administration, this government, this prime minister, we have seen over and over, she is not opposed to, nor in any way will curtail freedom of speech. But if it, of course, in this particular case, affects the public in such a way so as to promote violence and as to promote, of course, the undermining of the authority that was given to the government to have a safe and secure society.
Yeah,
certainly
she's that type.
Action must be taken, yeah.
She's that type. She's a very, very good person that way. Trinidad Tobago, the mother told at this point in time in the Guardian is 62. Right, and one more, the lines are open. What's your contribution before we go to that 7 o'clock hour? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning? But what I will say is here that stroke victim perishes in a fire in Barpo home. So if he's a stroke victim, perish in a fire. No playing people, most people in that stroke.
But we also have a break to take as well before the news.
Well, let me take it one time. We go for that break and come back. When we come back more, the lines are open to you.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Jerry Lean Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
It's all good right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for Women Who Lead, because when women rise, we all rise.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Director Snatch. I want to say good morning to all your colleagues. Kingsley King. Job well done, Kingsley. Keep up the good work. You that man work hard. And your cousin I'm talking about. Look up for this big program with Kingsley and Sudan. Then beginning of part all the vex with you. And I calling to say, I said the boss was saying yesterday, calling to deal with the real issues, they skip him out and playing your favorite talk show host and the favorite voice note and them. How you fight to try to keep me silent, sir? I just speak out and talk. I never left the UNC, no, the UNC left me. Must say good morning to understand the crew down and the beat them, understand our fighting spirit. I like to hear him song and so man. Them are two partners in crime. They work hard and they deserve every little bone they get. I still need a kennel. I'm waiting for my bone. All the victimizing me, all the blowing black smoke in me, because going and knocking on doors and nobody answering me crying. They victimize small fries and they talk to me. You tell me to go back and hold on to the bygone and lick the K-packs, you know.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
A while I haven't called in, and I'm glad they're having this state of emergency again to try the best to get rid of these bad, wicked, evil men who want, which is only a few, who want to cause trouble and mayhem in this country. But this time around, I pray that the government, in fact, the police commissioner, would investigate all those rogue cops who have the drug blocks, who have connection to the criminals, to get rid of them. Otherwise, having an SOE again will only go for a little while to be kind of safe. And then soon as finish, back to square one again. You've got to get rid of these rogue cops inside, those dirty cops. Having investigation on some of them who have big cars and houses, where they get their money from. That's the only way. Otherwise, you could bring in help from away, maybe the US. But otherwise, this country will continue to go down that same path again because the policemen are corrupted from the top, come right down. A lot of them still have the drug blocks and people know about it. Even ordinary citizens know what the blocks are and why they are not being eliminated. So this is an opportunity again for the state of emergency to get down to brass tacks and get those blocks out, close them down, and get at the big fishes in this country. who's causing all the problem. Otherwise, we're going to be in a bad state again, and we won't be spinning top in mud. God bless you, gentlemen. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
All who in the Bentham City supposed to make a jail from Federal and go right back. All who that's Rowley too. All who need Prime Minister, all who need in the man kidnapping, all to be in jail. All them and they should be paying money before they go in jail. Have a blessed Andy Will. Andy Will never died up in Monster Popular food poisoning boy. Monday morning. Have a blessed and pleasant bar, feeling good. After the Lord go Jehovah, doctors are feeling good. Have a blessed day, my brother. Lennox, good morning. My TK, good morning.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Snipes. What we need to do is bring in the FBI, the CIA, clean up the police service, clean up the army, clean up everything. Because as they have a saying, who have cocoa in the sun have to look out for rain. They done complaining about the U.S. military down here. At the end of the day, we want betterment for Trinidad and Tobago. So, best thing to do is bring in the FBI and the CIA and let them clean it up. Because we in Trinidad here like too much of corruption, we like too much of underhand thing, and we too biased. You understand? Like have a set of people in this country don't want to see this country go forward. All they want is to see the country stay down. So what the Prime Minister need to do when she go to meet the President, ask for the assistance, and let the FBI and the CIA come down here and clean it up. And let the chips fall where they may.
Oh, and they might Lennox. Yeah, man. Boy, these little fellas, they may want to jail them, boy. They want to hang these little fellas. They meant killing you, all kind of thing, and them going in jail and making time and come out back, boy. And then the lawyer and prosecutor they want to fight the case just to make money in the head. No, dog. Kill them fellas and the hanging, boy, or give them some injection or something, put them to sleep or something, man. They're overdoing it, boy. These men they want going in no jail. You understand? Bring back the hangman. Hang about 10 of them. Unless you catch them with guns and ammunition. There's so much life in the ammunition. There's so much life going on the drain. Look at all the crime rate going on. You understand? All just going by people and thinking, you understand? And the crime rate just keep going up. You understand? Gotta do something about it. You understand?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Time check. Yeah, it's about 2 minutes to the hour. You know, voice notes I have is over the 2 minutes. So I wouldn't play them until after the 7 o'clock news. From live on from TTT. Yes, all the #1 news source for news. Your very own TTT. Lennox Smith. While we are...
Yes, of course.
But
when we
Snipes,
come back,
see if you check the next mandate for me now.
When we come back, we have, of course, the statement by the Prime Minister that was issued to the media. We probably could read that in order to give people an appreciation and to reinforce what you played earlier. And, of course, that which was said by the Attorney General. Because, of course, it refers to, this statement here refers to the Prime Minister's position on the whole matter, reinforcing, of course, the other things that we already know or would have been told. But we have to go for the news. Andy?
Yes. Oh, boy. Snipes, work a miracle for my boy. Trinidad Tobago, we're going for that news.
Will do. I could assure you that he's working. He has adopted the work ethics of the ground report.
Nice.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad-Bissessar has defended the reimposition of the state of emergency, stating that it was prompted by credible threats targeting police officers, prison officers, and other members of the security and legal services. In a later post on X, she said she is unafraid to make tough decisions to protect law-abiding citizens. The Prime Minister made the announcement less than 24 hours after a National Security Council meeting at the Diplomatic Center, citing fresh intelligence of planned attacks and increased gang-related shootings. She said violent crime has risen since the previous SOE ended on January 31st and described the move as part of government's zero-tolerance approach, warning that gangs and released detainees must comply with the law. The Prime Minister also criticized the opposition, accusing it of obstructing anti-crime measures, such as the U.S. radar system and zones of special operations, and said her administration is working to strengthen the criminal justice system and clear the court backlog. The Tobago House of Assembly has acknowledged the declaration of a state of public emergency, which took effect on Tuesday, noting that it will work closely with national authorities to ensure stability and public safety in Tobago. While recognizing government's constitutional responsibility to preserve law and order, the Tobago House of Assembly says Tobago continues to record comparatively low levels of serious and organized crime, with no evidence of similar gang escalation on the island. The Assembly says it remains in close contact with the national security agencies to ensure any measures in Tobago are proportionate and intelligence-led. Meanwhile, the government's migrant registration framework exercise is now underway in Tobago. On Tuesday, migrants residing on the island assembled outside the Dwight York Stadium, documents in hand, prepared to complete the registration process. According to immigration officials, approximately 200 migrants were scheduled to be interviewed on the first day of the migrant registration framework exercise in Tobago. We spoke with several applicants who completed the registration process and were awaiting their interviews.
Process was easy because it was online. But the first was online, and after we have to print all our documents for and get them for the appointment case today. So I feel everything is very organized, right? I was here very early, right? But I feel everything until now is good.
I think it was good and comfortable for the Spanish people who come in here, and I'm thankful for that. I say thanks because I love what they're doing to us, because then take care about the immigrants, and I thanks for that.
El proceso ha estado un poco lento.
The process was slow,
Pero es un proceso, se ve que es rápido.
but when there was collaboration, it sped up.
Lo que sí ha sido engorroso es la documentación.
They asked different questions and for different documents,
Y bueno, pero de resto todo ha estado.
but overall it went well.
Migrants, the registration process is viewed as essential. Roy, who is from Venezuela, expressed gratitude for the government's initiative.
We need to work and do that things for our family and that things, and we need to keep the process going good, because we need to stay good with yours and doing the things by the light, no hiding.
As part of the exercise, applicants underwent health screenings, fingerprinting, background checks, and a brief interview. Immigration officials indicated that the registration process will continue for 3 days this week and a further 3 days next week in Tobago. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is making a major investment in youth cricket. The Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs, in partnership with Sport TT and the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, has officially launched the Youth Hardball Community Cricket Program, and it is completely free of charge. The 18-week program will provide structured cricket training for more than 600 boys, aged 11 to 17, across 19 venues in 8 zones, including Tobago. Speaking at the launch held at the National Racquet Center, Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs Philip Watts said the initiative removes all barriers to participation, with no costs, no fees, and no restrictions. He described it as more than a cricket program, calling it a vehicle for building discipline, leadership, and life skills among young people. The launch signals the start of what organizers are calling a sustained movement to strengthen grassroots sport and develop the next generation of champions across Trinidad and Tobago. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. After the break, we return to Trinidad and Tobago today.
In a world filled with uncertainty, there is still hope. When the weight feels heavy and the night feels long, remember, your story isn't over. God's
Wake up
promises
to
are
the
still
issues that
true.
matter most on The Ground Report. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. for real talk, real analysis, and real perspectives on the stories shaping our nation. News, current affairs, and voices from the ground, unfiltered and unapologetic. That's The Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins. Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
This is about creating opportunity through responsible management and citizen participation in national wealth. We are targeting US $3 billion in new investment within the next few years in energy, in construction, in tourism, and the digital economy.
Music.
It's reconstruction time in Trinidad, so put your shoulder to the wheel, man, lad, move on, don't stop till you reach the top. You put a hand and I put a hand and we will sing. For big and for small in no time at all, prosperity. There's no other way to do it. Show your patriotic spirit, unity, somehow. That ever needed you is now.
Culture.
The budget has goodies and some not so goodies, but that is because fairness requires that everyone plays their part.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report. The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report. The Ground Report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy. Time check. It's 8 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. Yes, 8 minutes past 7. And you're listening to the Ground Report. Live on our social media platforms. And you're also listening to us on Talk City 91.1 FM. Let me say a pleasant good morning to all my drivers again. Good morning to my drivers. Right, so right before Lennox Smith make it clear on what's the Prime Minister's thoughts on the SOE, let me just finish off quick. These are voice notes, them here. And then we're going to get down to that. Oh, boy.
Hi, morning, guys. You know, lately I am seeing so much concern about so much concern by the government and the Minister of Justice about these Venezuelan migrants. Listen, it's thousands of them in this country, and a lot of them are children
and young people, teenagers and so, right? The government is taking so much time and energy to deal with these people, right? And we, our people here, we have children who need to be seen about. We have youths that, have to be, placed in jobs or, to give them a place so that they would grow, right? Why so much time and energy and resources are being spent on thousands of Venezuelans when we have a problem with our youths in this country? What are all these people doing here? You think any Trinidadian could have put God out the thoughts and find themselves in Venezuela by the thousands and be still living? Man, get serious. People just be vexed with Trump when you see he deporting these people and he dealing with these people. But you have to do something. Nobody tell you to ill-treat them, but the fact of the matter is charity begins at home, and we have a problem here with our people getting jobs and doing things for them for their life to be better. So the thing about it is, deport these people. Maduro has gone. Deport these people in a civilized manner, in a good way, and let them go back and get all that they need back in Venezuela. There's no war going on in Venezuela. Send these people back and concentrate on fixing Trinidadians. You hear, we have to stop this attitude as if we are softer and nicer than anybody else. Come on, plenty youths going astray in this country. It's time to fix Trinidadians first.
Oh Lord.
Morning, Ground Report. Good morning, Director. Good morning to TMT. Angie, I have a front burner that has been bothering me for the longest while, and that is if you're from the Chaguanas area and you know where the Chaguanas police station is, that stretch, let's say you are standing directly in front of the police station, it's walking distance from the courthouse, and then you have another business, and then you have a bar, and then you have a mechanic shop, right? All of this is less than 2 minutes away from each other. And for the life of God, I cannot understand why it is that a bar that is operating there at the corner, that you have all these Venice girls applying their trade, these call girls. And it could be day, it could be night, and don't even pass there on a Sunday morning. And it is so blatant, right? Yesterday I coming down on that stretch, 3 police officers just passed me right in front of the bar. And when I look, these girls with their handbags, and you will see them stopping the vehicles, and the vehicles coming, and don't talk for when on a Sunday morning, when after the Saturday night, and they're drunk and they're all over the road. You understand? This is a bar that is operating prostitution right stone throw away from the Chaguanas police station. I cannot understand for the life of God why something is not being done. And the court is right almost next door, the Chaguanas court. And I'm asking the mayor to please look into this, because we cannot encourage these things, especially next to the courthouse and next to the police station, right? I am asking the mayor to please look into this. It is very disgusting when you have to use that road and you have these girls at the sideline and you have these drunk people on the road. Sometimes you come in, a couple of Sundays ago, my husband, the guy was so drunk that he ended up bouncing him. They had to end up going to the police station. It is really, really ridiculous. I am begging the mayor to please look into that business, please. The courthouse is right there. The police station is right there. Thank you.
Oh Lord.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
We papa, I like she. Hey, protect your husband, you know. Protect your home. There are plenty of East Indian brothers and sisters. They ain't doing that. Well, not sisters. East Indian brothers. They overdoing it. Yeah. They say they like it pink.
Bang, 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 bang.
Lennox Smith, this lady's crying out.
Well, no, it's a good observation. I think it resonates with those of us who are sociologically, conscious. There is this reality, and in close proximity to a major institution that is supposed to stand up against such activity. Once, of course, it is brought to their attention, which I hope this intervention would do, that they will take the appropriate action, because, of course, there is moral and ethical standards that one has to treat with. But I want to also look at Miss Woodbrook's concern with respect, of course, to the number of foreigners, undocumented it is called these days, persons in the country. Well, first and foremost, the rationale for it is that we are a signatory to international UN convention with respect, of course, to refugees, etc. And once they can claim, as has been the case in recent times, the Trinbagonians going to the UK, and when they arrive there, they then say, of course, they are refugees and so on, fleeing whatever persecution. Well, it's the same thing. We have an obligation as a country in a civilized democratic environment to also conform. So I want to make that clear. So it's not that the government doesn't have or wishes them to remain here per se, but it's because of that obligation. Otherwise, you'd be looked upon as a rogue country, very, very inhuman and inhumane, and treat them in a manner. If you treat them in a manner that, of course, is not consistent with what we have signed on to. So I want to make that very, very clear. So even though we are not a people that subscribe to xenophobia, where, of course, is the hatred of foreigners, as in so many other countries. But I take the fact that they are consuming resources that would otherwise be used for domestic consumption.
Man, we don't want to hear that UN chatter and UN.
In that context, I understand what she is saying, but we have an international obligation. We are barbaric. Yeah.
While the cow is grazing, the horse starving. We tell me about international obligation, whatever. We have an obligation to business.
Of course, if you were running the country in that way, we may be called persona non grata.
We is the government. We is the government, and we do business.
Yeah, but to have sanctions and all of those things that you don't want.
What sanctions we don't get?
Sanctions that you will get, or you could attract if you do not conform to something that you have signed on to. So let us not exaggerate or not put things in perspective.
But we on sovereignty. We come out of that. Well, let me sign out of that. Yeah. So how we can sign out it? We want to sign out it and deport them back. They're matching up homes. Them girls and them taking all the Indian men.
I think you have to talk to the present administration, because remember we had suggested in the beginning that the last administration ought to have identified a piece of land in Caroni. We have a lot of excess land there, and just as what they did in Syria, as what they did in Syria, put some tent city so the people will know, and of course you put the necessary security measures in place so that the people would know that when the time comes and things have settled back home, that they would, at least be encouraged, be enticed by that kind of accommodation to get back home where they'll feel much more comfortable.
Lennox,
once, of course,
you see all that nice boy,
difficulty
boy,
would have been resolved.
You see that nice boy, pretty boy, Joy kind of scenes you on there, this BBC, Fox kind of bacchanal thing there you on there. You understand? We not on that, When we on there, say we have a sovereign nation, and here it is. Just the same way Donald Trump and them could change the rules accordingly for the best interests of their people and their country. And just our Prime Minister talking, come in a big way, which I respect, I love, I like how she do it. I am saying, you see the charter and the chart man, whoever. Let me get ourselves out of that and let me deport all of them. They're mashing up families, they're taking them Indian women and them husbands. And you hear when this next woman complaining, they're all out on the road there on a Sunday when she go in the market passing there. She vex she husband is with there and you had to make a mistake and bouncing them down and all kind of stupidness.
I didn't hear the woman say that, eh?
She husband is past.
I didn't hear the woman say that, eh? Right? She made an observation, which of course impinges on moral and ethical and how it go look scenarios. I never heard her said that she husband has been there.
No, not there, but he passed.
To the ground report to get some kind of reprieve or some kind of relief.
All right,
but she never said.
All right, but she said the husband passed her Sunday and ended up had to hit somebody who was drunk and they end up in the station. She said so, but she husband will be there.
She's annoyed about that, but she never said that he would partake with the gifts that are being shared in the way that she described.
All right.
Right? As you say, they like it pink.
Bang, 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 bang.
Oh, Lord.
Let's take a caller, pleasant good morning to you, caller. Lennox, look, we seen you there, boy. A pleasant good morning to you. But we have a caller. Look, Lennox Smith.
Good morning, Andy and Lennox. They go Martin inside again.
Good morning, yes.
All right. I want to talk up to Penny and Senseless and Chibanza Misfits. You know, there was a UNC minister from Tobago who was Minister of Tobago's Affairs called Morgan Job. I believe if he was alive, he would have spoken to Penny, and the words he would have used, vacuous. So I want to advise Penny to talk to Neil and Massey, executive, let it talk to the dead, and let him advise them. Because she and the lollipop man and the candy man apparently doesn't understand crime was reduced by 42%. The American people in the embassy, I think in the charge of affairs, say that is a selling point for Trinidad and Tobago. So I don't know where they're going with that. They are vacuous. No. The other thing I'm talking is serious thing, and then I'm going to talk quickly about the Prime Minister and do we have assess her demeanor now. 20 million we had to pay for my pocket and your pocket, where an Attorney General by the name of Lymore, when the file went missing, he bring in two Eaterfood former judges to give him advice. They went to the Privy Council. They make a set of money, the local court of appeal, Privy Council. It's the same set of lawyers. One of them, you remember the La man, Mr. Nelson was singing the Calypso. He have a name like that. He is the one basically tell the Angostura man who was basically alleged for sexual misconduct that he's a good boy too, and he gave him a blight. But this man eat a food and he take it right up to the Privy Council, advise Lymore to appeal it, and we taxpayers have to fork out another 20 million plus lawyers' fees and things like that. That is why they eat a food. And remember, Lymore in a Miami court caused us to lose $33 million, eh? So I think we should bring back Lymore here and let him answer, because if we let him run like a goatee, he could end up in the CCJ as a High Court judge, because he ran away from Trinidad and he gone to the Eastern Caribbean. Okay, my take on the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bissessar. Everybody should realize she, based on her academic background, her posture is for excellence. In the first term she said as a prime minister, she come back to her and she honestly tell her she makes some mistake. And I want to juxtapose that to an A student. If an A student falls short in an exam, he go in and do it back. And this time he ain't making no mistake. He want to come out with full marks and excellence. And that is why her decision now, all of her decision now, is to make it right for Trinidad and Tobago. And the PNM didn't want a Zozo. They get a so-so. And I believe them really want a bozo, a special zone of operations for dummy. I'll go and have a nice morning.
Thank you very much, oh boy. Right, Gloria say, Andy, I agree. Yes, I agree. Abigail say,
we have a call on this side.
Go ahead.
We have a call on this side.
Go ahead.
Pastor, good morning. Welcome to the ground report.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning, and we're calling from.
Lennox, this is to you. What happened with the program in the night? We are not getting it.
Oh, yes. You'll forgive me. I have so much things doing, and but we will be on tonight. We'll be on tonight, definitely.
And the second thing, I asked you already about Mr. Long Circular. Is he alive? What is going on with him?
We have not been in contact for some time, so we don't have any recent information on his whereabouts or his health. Guru, yes.
Guru.
She's referring to Guru, yes. So you see how lasting the impact of people's contribution can be. So look how long we haven't spoken to him.
Nice.
But I said he has moved from Long Circular and he probably dies why.
Nice.
I probably don't know that we back on radio.
Davy Perry is saying there is a lot of Trinidad children by birth cannot get into a primary school in their area. Well, that's what I want to believe that they mean. And have to settle for paid schools. Principals accept the Veni kids, and our kids are turned away. All right, let's continue there. Andy, I agree with you. All right. Atali, Andy, don't be ignorant and face the fact. The law of the United Nations. Okay. Lennox will tell me, but we are something country that we try to change some law too. Right, let's go again. Time to remove them out of Trinidad and Tobago right now. Right, Gloria Ram Kelawan is saying, Andy, I agree with you. Abigail, I think we have helped the Venice. Now, it's time to send them back home to rebuild their country. All right, Abigail is saying send them back home to rebuild their country. Krishna is saying, Mr. Snipes, a pleasant good morning. Okay. Oh boy, let's continue here. All the talk about United Nations, where was them when Maduro was threatening Trinidad and Tobago? So you hear that, Lennox Smith, talking about United Nations and this and that and United Nations. But when we was getting threatened by by Maduro and Venezuela, we never hear about United Nations. But to deport back all them Venezuelans and them, you're telling me about sanction and United Nations and the law and you see you? Let me continue. That was saying, all the bright people, all I don't know, boy. Right. Let's continue here. Oh, Glory say, Ram Kilawan say, Lennox like Lennox love pink too. Yes, he love pink too. You see me show pink shirt. Yeah, he's look good in a pink shirt. So yeah, he love pink. Boy. The husbands. Let me finish.
Only you could take a good look at Move and say pink, you know. But I understand why.
All right.
Go ahead.
Oh boy. Right. Well said, Andy. Go to the top of the class. Right. To deport them, man. Right. Somebody else say Sharon Gogi saying, ain't simple. in simple words, their eyes are too long. All right, their eyes are too long. Primrod said, Miss Kamala, time to send back the Venezuelans and them. Right. Ateli Keto. And for all my foreign brothers and sisters out there, I, as a Trinidadian, I want the best for you all out there. Whether some of you are immigrants and looking to organize and clear get your papers and all kind of thing. Well, yes, I want that for you, and make sure and get clean up, right? Right, and go out there and work hard and support all the family. So Kato saying here, Andy, you know how much Trinidad and Tobagonians in America illegally? Oh, Andy, you know how much Trinidad and Tobagonians in America illegally, illegal immigrants, hiding out, looking for betterment? Yeah, well, look, I know wish them the best. At least you say it, hiding out, illegal, just like them. You know, but I want all to just hide smart, put the papers in place, and find a betterment for all the family. Most of the people who get deported to this be who play some stupidness across there, you know, the ones who go across there illegal, they know they're hiding, they know, if I know I'm hiding, me going out there, so, you know, hardly I going by a bar to drink a beer, or going just out there. When you're out there, it's trouble. It's just walk home. Walk home. So me I being bounced up, no immigration officer to deport, nothing on what they call the next thing, ICE. Me I bounce up ICE. You understand?
Yeah, because you go get very hot. You go get very hot. Yeah, we have to go for the break. But as you talk about that, you know, staying in place and being as innocuous as possible. The SOE started. There's a young man that I know. He was pulled in. He was kept for the appropriate period and then set free. You know, because he did not do what you are now advising. You know, the police were just passing. You know, they pick him up and he going to spend whatever period that is allowed under the SOE. And he just got a job, you know. So, you know, so it making my work very hard because he has he just had a newborn, you know, and he's working to sort of take care of that domestic situation. And here it is, they're pulling me now, and I had to go now and see if I can do something in order to explain to them that, listen, he really and truly has not been doing anything that you perceive him to be, but simply because he wearing the wrong clothes, he appears to be like the profile youth man, and don't matter how you talk to them, they will still continue. Of course, and on this occasion, what he did, he trimmed his hair, but he kept it in a manner that he will still be a suspect.
Profile, yeah, boy.
Yeah. The profile. And no matter what you tell them. Yeah, something like yours, but a little higher, and a sort of kinky dread, but only the top, and but of course he wearing the same, you know, clothes and the pants below your bottom and all of that and so on.
I saw that profile.
I mean, come on.
I saw that profile is the white vest, black pants, slippers. Is it?
That's right. And no matter what you tell them, I'm going to give another experience that I was.
What's so nice about that white vest, black pants, and I find that some of them are chicken chest, some of them they look bony, you looking tired and hungry. So, but yet still they like that white vest, black pants, and slippers.
But I'm saying I want to tell you the next experience, because there are parents who accept and tolerate that and don't understand that they're putting these young people into harm's way unnecessarily. Harm here meaning that the police have their work to do, but when they profile you in a particular way, birds of feather flock together one, and when people repetitively, you know, experience a particular type of attitude and in terms of wear, in terms of talk, in terms of conduct, and in terms of who you associate with, then you are vulnerable for those who are in authority and in a situation of a SOE, you to be pulled in, and therefore your reputation and your family and all of that become involved. We have to take time to sort of clear you from any clear you from what the police may think you are engaged in and all of that. Good people have to go and do that when, of course, it could have been avoided by just staying on the straight and narrow. Stay out of problems, stay out of the people's way, or be the profile that they are not looking for.
Nice. And before we go for that quick break there, Snipes, I would like to say too, I always thought that the girls in Trinidad and Tobago, and I still believe that, they need psychological assessment proper. Because when I see these fellas, them have girlfriend and them best dress code is a white vest, a black pants, a slippers on the foot are corn, and they here twist up and looking dirty.
And the girl making 2 and 3 children for them.
But as for 80s men, 70s and 80s men, you couldn't grow your hair out like that. Your parents would ensure that you keep yourself looking a particular way. Yeah. And for some reason, somewhere along the line, the fathers and the mothers drop the ball, and even the grandmothers will tell you.
The rein has been loose.
You want to cut your hair.
Yeah, the rein has been loose.
Looking like you want to be somebody, like you want success.
But the parents condoning that. I'll tell you about that experience after the break.
So after the break, Lennox,
I have to go to a school.
Yeah, but before we take the break, Lennox, you send them girl making 2-3 children for them?
Yeah.
What sharks?
And of course, again, putting the parents to mind the children because they ain't walking away.
So they walking away with a vest and a pants and a slippers?
That's right, exactly.
So all women have a very, very serious role to
play. So you're quite right. When you bring into the equation young girls who clearly have fallen down in terms of their ambition. But again, I want not to defocus on the role of parents in this regard.
Okay then. Snipes, take me there.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry-Leen Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
So I got right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
This March 8th, in celebration of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly presents Women Who Lead. Imagine a world free of bias and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where women's achievements are celebrated and their voices amplified. For over a century, International Women's Day has championed gender equality, and the journey continues. Join us as we highlight powerful, inspiring women who are breaking barriers and shaping our future. Women Who Lead, launching March 8th on Talk City 91.1 FM. Together, we can forge gender equality.
Will you ever notice how water is part of everything we do? From singing in the shower, to washing the car, to cooling off after a long day. Here's a friendly reminder from WASA. Before you move, before you relax, before you enjoy the day, pay your WASA bill. It's easy to do. Pay online anytime at wasa.gov.tt. Visit a WASA customer service center. Use the self-service kiosk or pay at authorized partners like Western Union and commercial banks. Water is life, and we're evolving to serve you. Join the evolution. Pay your bill. This message is brought to you by the Water and Sewerage Authority.
The Prime Minister and the National Security Council had no choice. We immediately determined to advise Her Excellency, as I have said, that a state of public emergency existed in Trinidad and Tobago. This government is determined to never allow this country to deteriorate into the state of chaos and bloodshed which we met in May of 2025 when we took office. We shall never accept the slow, dangerous surrender to the criminal gangs in our midst. There are examples in the region of territories that have allowed that. Trinidad and Tobago's fate will be different.
From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues and the stories that matter most to you, this is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Nice. Time check. Yeah, it's 41 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. You're truly the pitbull of radio. Director's night. Not forgetting the big word man, Lennox Smith, in studio. Oh boy, so let's continue those voice notes and them and people. Yes, the lines are open to you for your contributions. Let me clear up some of this list here real quick here, boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yes, and you are right, ma'am, you are right. Trinidadian men need to be obligated. Their eyes too long and don't watch on the other side. Eat local dish. All right, they know that. But Trinidadian men, I don't know. They like wild meat. You know, much of them out of season, when wild meat season out, you see the warden and them, the game warden and them, they still lock up people who hide in Gucci and tattoo and all kind of thing all over. So they still like that. Don't matter what. They say they can eat the local dish right too. Now and again, they need to put in the like Gucci, tattoo, maniku. They like wild meat, ma'am. So I don't know, you have to put some kind of thing in the food. You know, it have maximum you put in people drink way to make sure you're not feeling to smoke again or to drink alcohol again. So it is turn you off and higher system. Don't want you feel to do that again. So all your Trini women, all you have to find some kind of antibiotic to inject in all your man and all your husbands for them not to want to eat wild meat and they will stay local dish, right? All right.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang.
Because the wild meat calling them, it keep calling them. Amigo. So let's just be smart now, man. Some all home, all only want to put on old clothes still. Man, 90 and ass slip. Colors in all their hair. All the cooking there, the man saying, but where's there's a granny out here? And when you look so, you see the goatee well deck up. Boy, aye. All the woman be smart too, eh? All right, let's continue. Go ahead, caller.
Pleasant good morning, Brother Andy. Good morning to you. Lennox Smith, pleasant good morning to you. Trinidad and Tobago. Now, Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, and Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I want to say pleasant good morning to the Honorable Prime Minister. Right? And I stopped supporting you 100%. I supporting you 1,000% now. Here why I support you 1,000%. The situation that Trinidad is in at present, if somebody don't care, they wouldn't make decision that the Prime Minister is making today. The reason a SOE now finish on the 31st of January, right? Carnival was the 16th and the 17th. And after Carnival, the youngest month in the 12-month span in a year is February, 28 days. And from the 17th, from the 18th of February to now, watch how much murders take place throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Do we as a people really want that to continue? If PNM was in power and this thing was taking place, they would have never do nothing. You know how the SOE start? When a jeep, a panel van went and sit down in front a police station and wait for a man who went to sign a book. And when the man come out of the station, they decide to kill the man and they end up killing somebody else. That is what they call don't care about the law, right? And Trinidad and Tobago, we have to understand that when somebody mean good to your country, we have to give them that respect. This woman, this UNC government mean good to Trinidad and Tobago. They could say what they want. Right? The reason for this situation, how it is today, is because of where PNM have us. PNM have us in this situation. The former government, the former prime minister have us in this situation. So when people only talking and saying all sorts of things about the SOE again, and they care about, come on, every woman, and she government didn't care. The Honorable Prime Minister, not the woman. If the Honorable Prime Minister didn't care about Trinidad and Tobago, she will never do what she's doing here. So what we have to do, let's see what's going on in Trinidad and Tobago. They start to kill we by the trees and the fours, and they're even killing who they're looking for. They're killing innocent people. It's innocent people falling on the ground. People linemen have they're studying nothing. They're just linemen. They're going on the block and they're saying no normal. They're saying no in a track. And gunmen just come in and gun down everybody. They care who they kill because what they want to send a message. What kind of war is that? I don't know war. That is stupidness. Like foolishness, Andy. Like foolishness, Trinidad and Tobago. So we have to support what the woman is doing for the betterment of Trinidad and Tobago. Who like it, who don't like it, well, run with it. And the next thing I want to say this morning again, I'm talking on behalf of the Carnage people because they're calling on me to call and say something. And the Upper 8th Street where I live in, it has something they call Frisco Junction. Right? And it have a pumping station there. Last week, Tuesday, Wassa and the team come and move the 3 pumps. The 3 pumps for no reason. Nobody, I don't know what they move the 3 pumps for. Right now, the people have no water. Wassa moved the 3 pump. The last time they moved the pump, I filmed them. They went to the station for me. They say I was harassing them. The police come and talk to me. He understand what it is I was doing, so he end up leaving and going. Now they come and they move the 3 pumps, and it have no water up in here. And right now it's dry season. So what it is really going on? And then the mayor, who's stating that she's the mayor and she grew up in Carnage, passing and saying all kind of, what's that? And the Trinidad and Tobago President, good morning again, and the electoral and listening. We go leave that for some other time.
All right. Thank you very much. Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Well, I'm sure Wassa is listening.
Right, Sharon Jogi say most women like vanity, but most of us take our family first. Right, but even if you're taking your family first and you're doing all of that, you have to organize 2 women, right? Being sure you have to organize 2 and lock all your husbands down under seriousness. Well, look, people complaining, men writing up right now all on social media saying that we want all of this coming looking real nice. And then like you know, and then they say all after a while they start to look like the mother and not the wife. You know, so well, I don't know what time it is to they don't need the kitchen, take some exercise there, so you understand?
So what? Does lose the shine? To use a cricketing term?
Ben, you just have to organize and wash your shirt, polish your shoes, you know, and just have to shave and whatever. And if a man had to do that, to keep himself, you understand? Suddenly somebody, hey, oh good, I'm my husband. Then woman them I don't know what time it is to keep themselves nice too. Let the man want to only watch you too. Oh God, man.
Don't lose the shine. Don't lose the shine.
Don't lose the shine.
Yeah, no matter how much paste it is, don't use the shine. Don't lose the shine.
On a Sunday, come out, you know, whip on a nice little something while you're baking. You understand? Tantalize all your husband a little bit. Eh? Where the hell that your husband, you know? Because what's with them Venezuelan, them, when they go there, whether they stop by a grocery, because they in groceries, they in bars, they see them all over. You never see them Venezuelan women that do? Them always dress up. They always dress up. You don't watch them, ain't dress up. They always dress up. But here what they do. Every time a Trini man around, especially an Indian Trini man, you're going to grocery in the lane, all of a sudden they make a mistake and they drop the phone by mistake to bend down to pick up the phone and thing. And amigo, can you help me and thing there? And the man, they come to make groceries. You understand? All they are more smart. And when you learn them, they're learning it, you know. They're learning it. Look how much of them get pick off plenty all your husbands. But the next thing, all your husbands, let me teach all you something too. That is just a shine up for Norway, all you. Them woman and them, they still like the very man. All you don't know the people language, they still like the very man. And it will end up both all you. So you leave out your family.
Snipes, just as me, I think it's very familiar that has been culturalized in the female in particular. They have no difficulty with their sexuality, and they demonstrate it and flaunt it, you know, on every opportunity. That seems to be part and parcel of the culture, and I agree with that. I bring in Snipes to make sure that you're in focus on me.
All right. So what? So you, but do you agree with me, Lennox Smith, while we continue with it? Because this is serious too, but while we continue with the rest of seriousness, but do you not believe, on Snipes, that at least Trini women have to organize to at least
be comfortable in their skin and to understand what is required in order to keep the status quo. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, and they know when clothes dirty to wash it.
Yeah.
And they know when they here need to go by the hairdresser, putting the weave and thing. And they know
too often the relationship becomes dull and drab because the responsibility of child or children rearing, domestic responsibility, cooking, washing, etc., takes precedent over, you know, those other things that would have spiced up the relationship at the commencement. But soon those things die out, and people have a tendency to search for other opportunities, because one of the things about life is that variety is the spice of life, it is said.
All right, so that is why they look like a raggy doll?
That's why they look like that, because at the beginning they would be just as the Venezuelans and others would look, but as they take on domestic responsibility, family life, in other words, that becomes more important than, of course, keeping the shine, so to speak, in the relationship.
Okay. And that is why he's end up with the children alone and the man gone because he getting the shine somewhere else. Nice, let's continue. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. What's your contribution on the ground report this morning? What's on your front burner?
Good morning, Andy, Uncle Lennox, Brother Snipe, and Trinidad and Tobago. Now, I hear callers a respond that it have a lot of Trini hiding in America and working. But the fall short by saying, when the Trini is working in America, the first thing that they do is get the RIS number and pay the tax, because that would just keep them there without getting deported so long. Right, that is one. And the next thing I want my esteemed political leader and prime minister to do in this country, make sure that when they Spanish register, you tax them and they pay all taxes when they're working, right? Because, and that will guarantee them citizenship. And place of birth on a birth paper don't guarantee you place of citizenship. They have to meet the criteria, right? And then again, once again, you're hearing that when people kill people, it's okay. But when police go outside there and do the work and stand up and fire the charge of firearm is judicial killing. So here what's going on. It's time that the people understand the minority will have a say, right? But when the law government is for all, and law-abiding citizens have the right to freedom, expression, and movement. And this SOE, I don't see take away any of that. And I don't understand this silliness when people try to push a narrative and say that SOE, you're going at work, you're coming from work, you're drinking your rum, bar open, right? It's your choice, your freedom move. What is the problem? Because why? Criminal activity and lawlessness. Because a party called the PNM want to disrupt and say that my party, which I support, failed in fighting crime. And you've seen that Penelope Beckers, since the day she became the opposition leader, every single bill or every single thing she fight for is for the criminal, to give the criminal the upper hand. And just imagine, in a press conference, she read that what Rowley did, he went and hid, saying that my Prime Minister is a man now. Where my Prime Minister turned man? Yeah, she turned man because you know why? She had the testicle fortitude to stand up, to tell people in the Caribbean, enough is enough, and we are a sovereign state. And here we're going on, people. Let's stand up and debunk evilness in this country. Have a nice day, Andy, and thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Well, we have to go for a break. We have to go for a break before, of course, we enter into the news. So, I don't know if you want to have any last comment, Andy?
Boy. So when we go for the break, we're going to the news one time, or are we coming back within our timing?
It appears that we won't have time to get back. But let's see. We'll play it by air.
All right.
We go for a break, and when we come back, more.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. When it matters, we're there, reporting the news as it happens. Because your world can't wait. Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for Women Who Lead, because when women rise, we all rise.
But Johnny, how come your house is twice the size of mine, but my bill is twice the cost of yours? Johnny, what's going on, boy? How your bill so low? How your bill so low? I conserving energy, I switch your LED, I just turn off the AC, and I'm saving real money. It's our responsibility for a brighter TNT. Cut the waste and you would see. Why everybody asking me? They asking how you been so low? How you been so low? TN Tech, powering the nation into the next generation.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Well, Trinidad and Tobago. Well, yes, we are hearing us, but we have to go for that 8 o'clock news that you all will get and grow to love, man. TTT News. As Snipe they say, and yes, while the the news coming on. Yes, and not only, and let me make sure and correct that while we continue the other topics, it's not only women to be blamed. Trinidad and Tobago, we also need Pitbull of Radio as somebody that is respected out here. The men have to be blamed too. And men, you all and all have to get your all act together. Help out all your mama, all your wives, you know, all your common law wives, all your girlfriends. Help them out, stand up with them. You know, some all smoke, all your come in, take a mint, some all drinking, all your rum, all coming home smelling stink. The woman turn off all you. Some all stop bathing plenty and all kind of thing, man. So come on, man, brush all your mouth and thing too. Right, so the woman we better handle the stories, okay? Let's go for the 9 o'clock news and come back. When we come back, more right here on the Ground Report. We'll be back.
Good morning, this is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts, making the news at this time. Speaking on the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning program, criminologist Randy C. Prasad linked the country's crime challenges to systemic issues, including the state of the prison system. He explained that poorly managed prisons can reinforce criminal networks and produce more hardened offenders instead of rehabilitating them, a concern that becomes even more pressing amid rising security threats. His comments come as the government declared another state of emergency following renewed threats of violent reprisals and escalating gang activity. Attorney General John Jeremy said intelligence reports pointed to planned killings, underscoring the seriousness of the situation.
Depending on how a prison is run, the conditions within the prisons, the exposure to other criminal elements, people from whom you can learn criminal techniques, from whom you can develop contacts with other gang members, other criminal elements, the way that prisoners are even treated in an inhumane manner within the walls. These and many other factors really can contribute to persons becoming committed and better criminals, so to speak, within the walls of the prisons.
Proper rehabilitation and reintegrating systems into the society is therefore key in the process of supporting released inmates to prevent their go back into criminal activities.
Two key things there. One, proper rehabilitation in the prisons, and two, when inmates come out, proper reintegration services, not re-entry, which is just re-entering the society, but reintegrating into the society, becoming a meaningful, contributing member of the society. And they need help to do that as well.
In other news, the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association has submitted a second letter to the Ministry of Finance, maintaining its call for clear communication and firm timelines on salary increases and outstanding back pay. Tutor President Crystal Ash asked for the ministry's indication of clear timelines.
The difference with this particular copy is that there's something that we put in a little extra, which was the fact that the minister and the CPO, they would have agreed to pay the third schedule people who were under PSA in 2014 to 2019, the advance in back pay that all PSA members would have received in December. They had agreed to pay them in January. It has not come in January, it has not come in February. So we're reminding the minister kindly that it is due to them, it was agreed to, and they're expecting same.
Mr. Ash signaled that delivering the letter by hand opens a line of communication between Tutor and the ministry.
We're asking the minister, because we are aware that the minister does not like discourse in the public domain, because he said that in some interview that say that he's getting this information in the public domain via the media. So we want to adhere to that, and we're making sure that we deliver the actual letter directly to the minister. And we want him to ensure that he delivers same directly to Tutor. Via email, hard copy, no problem, Mr. Minister. We'll take it anyway.
He clarified that although teachers will not participate in industrial action, they will continue to demonstrate their support for the cause. A gruesome discovery was made in Tobago on Tuesday after a body washed ashore near the newly constructed District Office of Tobago House of Assembly Area Representative Megan Morrison. Senior Superintendent Rodell Kirk told TTT News that around 3 p.m. residents reported seeing a body floating in the waters off Blenheim, Tobago. By the time officers arrived on the scene, the body had already washed ashore. Senior Superintendent Kirk said the deceased is a female of African descent. Police investigations are ongoing as efforts continue to confirm her identity. Switching to sport now, Sri Lanka women have claimed the T20 International Series against West Indies women, winning 2-0 after the first match was washed out. In the third and final match at the National Cricket Stadium in Grenada on Tuesday, the visitors chased down a target of 120 with 9 wickets in hand and more than 2 overs to spare. Winning the toss and electing to bowl, Sri Lanka restricted West Indies to 119 for 5 from their 20 overs. Chanel Henry top scored with an unbeaten 32 off just 15 balls, while Deandra Dottin contributed 28 and Stephanie Taylor 24. In reply, Sri Lanka made light work of the chase. Hasini Pereira anchored the innings with an unbeaten 52 off 59 balls, supported by captain Chamari Atapatu, who fell for 32, and Imisha Dulani, who finished not out on 34. Sri Lanka reached 121 for 1 in just 17.4 overs, sealing the series and handing West Indies women a comprehensive defeat on home soil. And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From all of us here, have a great day.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
The cabinet has approved the increase in the permissible age of importation of foreign-use right-hand drive private cars, that's sports utilities, SUVs, sedans, and station wagons powered by gasoline, dieseline, or compressed natural gas, CNG, from 3 years to under 8 years, and under from the date of manufacture.
Music. Culture.
As Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has announced recently with our revitalization master plan, we are open for business. And a key area, a key focus of that master plan is, of course, the energy sector and the energy hub. And we will be open for business, not only for Nutrien, but for all other players that wish to discuss their investment portfolio with us.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
Opportunities for closer regional connection were in focus when Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, Senator the Honorable Eli Zakur, met with Colombian Ambassador, His Excellency William Sidney Bush Howard. Their discussion centered on strengthening aviation cooperation between our two countries, including the exploration of air services and collaboration in safety and regulatory systems, highlighting aviation's role as a driver of economic growth and national productivity. The Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation reiterates its commitment to international partnerships that enhance performance and sustainability across the sector.
This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy. So time check. Yeah, it's 8 minutes past your hour of 8 o'clock. Now you listen to the Ground Report. How time flies. Oh
yes,
boy.
indeed. And I had omitted, and it was remiss of me if I continue with that omission, to inform you that Joshua did meet the president on Friday last. She visited his school, yes, and of course she gave him a gift of with the insignia of the presidential, insignia. Of a bag and a knapsack, so you could go to school with it and so on. Why I'm saying that too is because the SOE has come on us, but I am linking it to the fact that all around in school and outside of school.
Well, let me see about the time too, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's Snipes laps there.
Oh, you're playing up the man, so.
Okay. Right. Yeah, and I'm saying that because he is a sort of, for want of a better term, a sort of celebrity. You know, young people are coming to him and shaking his hands and so on and so on. We are talking here about a 10-year-old people. And I think because he wrote to the president saying that he's moving from his previous school in Belmont to one closer to the facility that we have on George Street. So right on George Street there. And she had promised last year that she will visit this year. And she did do so with some other schools in the immediate vicinity, but she wanted a private conversation with him. So therefore, they prepared a particular room in the school, and she and Joshua spoke with, of course, other attendees there, with the principal and so on. And it was a very, 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 what I consider to be welcoming experience for the area. And people are now coming and shaking his hands and asking him how he experienced what she said to him and so on. I like to bring him in on Friday, so that, of course, he could probably say what his experience would have been. I think it is good for communities like these. Firstly, because the Zoso and so-called crime hotspots community would not normally have this kind of, let's say, opportunity. And more than that, some of them may believe and have been conditioned to believe that they cannot reach the highest levels of attention and attractiveness. And I think that kind of exposure and that kind of experience certainly will augur well. Because I always believe in these communities, anybody there could be a prime minister, could be a scientist, could be a lawyer, etc. It's just that the stigma and other factors, including, of course, the deprivation and not having the financial wherewithal over time to expend, and the priorities are such that you may only looking at food and not, of course, these other things that will bring bigger and better things to not just the family, the neighborhood, but also to the general community. I think that is a seed that, if planted and nurtured well, can, of course, benefit the entire community. Andy?
Nice. Oh boy, I nothing, man.
Yeah. So I'll bring him in on Friday and let him tell us of his experience, because I think it would be a good thing as well for parents, his peers, and of course the elder ones who may find themselves maybe the subject of police watch or attention. And, he probably might be able to give some ideas and so on. We need to take it from there. And again, people, I'm talking about a 10-year-old here.
Nice. So, Tobago, the lines are open. Well, you heard a lot of front burners poured out this morning. What's on your front burner? What's supposed
I'm here to make the
news?
statement, read the statement of the Prime Minister. So when you're ready.
Yeah.
When you're ready.
Hold on that a little bit. Oh, boy.
Morning, the ground report. Morning. That guy, right, who live in the market to go perseverance, he don't have to pass in front of that bar. When he leave the market on another street, he could come on the road by National Insurance Building and turn left on the first corner he meet. He don't have to pass in front of that champ bar. He like to pass it. So you see that woman? She better watch her husband. He like to pass it to see how them Spanish do. He like to pass it. He don't have to pass it. Right? You could go down the Honest Main Road, Chase Village Road. There's a road on the right hand side. You take there by Israel and you go straight to Perseverance. Why you passing there when you leave the market for? He like to pass there.
Tory come out and all kinds of things jump out. Well,
he wants to see.
Yeah. Well, obviously that is what he's suggesting. So, ma'am, you have another perspective as to why he might have been so unattentive that he got bounced.
Don't be upset with us, please. Somebody from the area that's sharing a different perspective.
Yeah, because the person seemed to know the physical layout of the place. And he's just, of course, giving his views. I'm sure that she would probably take note and
Just- so just-
well be tempted to respond. But
Yeah.
that's the ground report for you.
So for now,
we have a
ma'am,
call.
go
Good
ahead,
morning.
go ahead.
Good morning. We have a call. We have a call. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Mr. Snipe and the Williams. And good morning to this beautiful nation. You know, I want to say congratulations to the people them who working now and cleaning the roadside, highways, byways. They're doing a good job and they're working for a good salary a day. Knowing that when the CPEP was there, they're taxing them, they're paying them small money, Lennox and Andy. Now they have a little more money in the pocket, they are paying the body and they're boasting that they're working now for the state and the government. You understand? So I want to look out to see more employment, more coming out for the youth and them and for the people not working. You understand? At least they can get $1 to take to the family. So I ask the government and the ministry of local government to continue the good work, and Khadija Amin continue the good work that she's doing and get more people back into the job. But you know, I must deal with this lady called Penny. And I now see why. That they say when they were campaigning, the same people, the one from Digger Martin that Rowley put in on the VJ, he was gallivanting on the radio. They don't want a penny, they want $1. Understand? And wasting the lady. Now they're fighting for power instead of there. The PNM fighting for leadership instead of there. But you see, the PNM have a tendency, they just try to make the media focus on the people and the government when they're in a position. But the real thing that's going on right now is Beckles opening her mouth and she don't know what she's talking about. Because you can't tell me your problem with the SOE when you're telling the country that the government of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Kamala Passat are saying that she is not going to be afraid of no criminal. We're dealing with them. And as according to one program yesterday, right, they come for you, now we're going for them. And the people must be vexed. So all who vexed is encouraging the wrongdoing. Because when Rowley and PNM and Stuart Young and them and Hines and them was in power, what they do? They do nothing to stop the crime. They encourage stupidness. What they do? They encourage people to bully people and chastise the wrongdoing and make it right when they was in office.
Okay.
When Tobago was suffering, they didn't care about nobody fought.
Thank you very much, caller. Next caller, pleasant good morning to you.
Hey, Andy, morning. Lennox and Snipes. Andy, I want to get your and Lennox opinion, honestly, on this, what I'm about to say. Well, you know that this new SOE comes out, right?
Yeah.
All right. The government, most likely the protective service will be collecting more drugs and guns and so on. Andy, in my opinion, I want to see these drugs and guns being destroyed publicly. I want to see it being destroyed publicly, especially, let us say, you know, let the media come and snap whether it's being destroyed, whether it's being burnt, whether the guns being mashed up by machines or whatever. Let us see those things being destroyed publicly, Andy. Because sometimes you see the drugs will disappear and put blocks instead of, and all sort of wood instead of the drugs. But we don't ever know what happened to the guns. What happened to the guns that they collect, Andy? You're all boasting how much guns they collect. Where are these guns? We want to see these guns destroyed, mashed up. They're not coming back into society. I want to hear all your honest opinion on this. And I'll send the same voice message so you don't have to play over my voice message. Thank you, Andy. Bye.
All right. Thank you very much.
Well, a very simple answer. I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to have that transparency, not only with the guns, but everything. Let me all see it being...
Yeah, so there's no recirculation of items that was considered to be contraband or illegal in this society, because we simply don't have the tendency or the practice to have ballistic examination in such a way, forensic, etc., that is timely and that would be very efficient in order to identify. So best you publicly display the destruction of these items so that the population could feel more comforted, one, and that the police themselves will not be surprised that such items find its way back into the society or into the criminal arena.
All right, go ahead, officer. That break down everything for us. A pleasant good morning to you. What do you have for us this morning?
Yeah, good morning to everyone. Well, the person talk about the guns. We had a situation already in Trinidad where the guns that were sent for destruction was back in the public and was involved in murder.
So that went on while you was in force too? That went on while you was in force?
Yeah, that went on. Yeah, everybody know about them kind of things that take place.
All right, but
they had police was renting gun and thing.
But the destruction of those guns, when it passed the evidence or and the cocaine and all this, who is in charge of destroying it, and why do they not invite
the senior officers in the police service is in charge of those things?
Right,
and in the case of the
and why do they not?
In case of the firearm, let's go to the armory in the barracks.
Let's go to the armory in the barracks.
The police armory, yeah.
So it don't be destroyed.
The evil days, the one supposed to handle whether destruction or
supposedly doing the destruction.
Yeah, they're the one in charge of that. In the case of drugs, a senior officer supposed to, after the case and finished, supposed to have a public burning of it.
Right, but why it is with those things that when they're going and destroy those things, that the media don't be invited in order, as the fourth pillar of democracy, for people to see that those things being destroyed?
Well, you see, this is what they don't have it in display for the public like that. So they have the little thing they do and it's supposed to be done. But it's a long time I have.
Right, but knowing that
you heard about that being done.
Right, but knowing
the laws is there.
Right, but knowing that the people of Trinidad and Tobago know, and as you say, while you was in the police service, that things that were supposed to be destroyed went right back on the streets. Meaning, we leaving it to senior officers to their wings and fancy because they're supposed to destroy this and they're supposed to destroy that. Where's the account and transparency when it coming to making sure that those who are responsible for destroying those things, that they do held accountable for not destroying it or for showing that they are destroying it? Who holds them accountable?
Well, to give you a simple answer to that, you have a judge rule that a person was kidnapped based on evidence that was presented before him. How come up to this day, nobody is being charged for kidnapping? How long that ruling take place? Were they waiting for a next commission of inquiries and this kind of inquiries? The judge ruled on that already. That was a crime. It come like somebody get murdered. So you sit down and you're waiting now for somebody to tell you to investigate it. You understand?
Wow. Yeah.
There's negligence. This is total negligence.
Yeah. Wow. As one that would have been attached to the system sometime in the past, recently there was an overkill, I would like to call it. Several shells were found at the scene, but of course with TTPS's markings. How do you account for that? What logic you will apply to that?
Well, they have forensic analysis. They can determine where it came from, which department. They have things now. It wasn't like in the past. Things are being registered now. In the past, they didn't have all those forensic things in place, but they have it now. So they could determine where these ammunition came from, and remember, people have to account for it. Now, long time in the police service, if a policeman discharges a firearm and he don't want to report it, he should go and get one iPad and take him a bullet back and replace it, or go in the army or wherever and get a bullet and replace it. Mm-hmm. Right? But you could no longer do that because the bullet, it happened in San Fernando, in the San Fernando City Corporation Police, where they say that a person replaced a bullet and he was sent on suspension, had a big investigation and thing on that. So you can no longer.
Every piece of ammunition is marked, is certified, is recorded. So therefore, you could have a paper trail attached.
It's supposed to have a recording of the ammunition you're getting, and the date you get it, and these kind of things. Things could be traced back, but it's not all that perfect still, because it could only really trace, like when it discharge a firearm, what gun it come from, based on the marking on the bullet and when they discharge it. So it have the forensic ways that the forensic analysis they could do for these kind of things.
Yeah.
Right. Now the real issue I really call for, people talking about the immigration law. Yes, there is immigration law passed by government all around the world, right? These laws supposed to be enforced by the law enforcement agencies, whether it be the Justice Department, the Police Department, to ensure that it is a thing. However, there is an agreement signed with United Nations that when people in other countries have problems, they could come in your country and claim asylum or refugee. But it is up to the government to ensure that it is proper asylum and proper refugee being claimed. Right? Take, for instance, people came to America. But in coming to America, they passed over 3 and 4 different countries. And then when they cross the border in America, they claim an asylum. Why they didn't claim in the other countries that they went in, like Canada, Mexico, and other, I could name other countries that they went in before coming to America. Right? You're supposed to claim asylum in the first country you're landing. Not you pass over to 3 countries and then come to one country and say, well, you're claiming asylum there.
That come like that.
You understand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Right? So the whole thing is a treaty with United Nations. And you know that right now Trump is not doing all these things because what he exposed with the Doge and his non-profit organization, the corruption, he's stopping it. That is why Marco Rubio is in charge of dealing, rather with non-profit organizations, dealing with the government and them. So Kamala is on the right track with dealing with Marco Rubio and not dealing with non-profit organization. You deal directly with him, and through him, you will have contact. You know, through the son, you will get to meet the father. You will get to meet the president, and you see it happening. Right? So what also is happening, you can go in places like China and Russia and India and enter their country legally. It's straight jail, sometimes up to 8 years in jail. You understand? But you could do it in certain countries and get away. Look, even Hungary, when they went to claim asylum in Hungary, when they come by the wall, they put the military, they stop them, they make them clean up all the rubbish they dispose on the people on border and tell them go back. Hungary did that. This is why the European Union is against Hungary for not accepting refugees. You understand? So you have to pay attention to these things that happening. Well, there is laws, and people not obeying it, not enforcing it.
So do you believe that the government have its power as a sovereign nation to deport back all them there, whether UN or what? The government of Trinidad and Tobago could deport them back, them, Venice and them?
Well, based on the UN law, the people have a right now, because they come to Trinidad, to make the case to say, well, why they can't go back Venezuela and why they should stay in Trinidad. You understand? And then if they are there, United Nations supposed to send aid to Trinidad to assist in maintaining them.
I wonder if
that is what United Nations.
No, he is right on the button. But what we have seen, however, is that the United Nations Refugee Office has pick up itself and has hightailed out of Trinidad.
Because you know why they have been exposed. Do you know that United Nations? This is thing I investigated over the years. United Nations based something have been used by certain terrorist organizations to attack certain things because it is a soft way of doing things and nobody will attack them. United Nations, the Red Cross and these kind of things. And all this thing now is being exposed that Donald Trump have been cutting out funding for some of them because of that.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. Okay.
Even the WHO, you know, he pulled out from WHO also.
And I think we Trinidadians, I think we need to pull out from the WHO too.
Yeah, I want to know what Trinidad is doing in WHO. Nobody I know what they signed, but I have an idea because they wanted to get all the world to sign on it. Now, what happened? We used to get advice in Trinidad from PAHO. PAHO is we health advisor. All in a sudden, they bring the head of WHO he have a very, very interesting past, right? Because he is not a medical doctor, and if you know his history, you realize that he should be in no position to be no high office. You understand? You could Google it. All the information is there on Google. If they still have it up, you could get the information if you want. So he's not a person supposed to be in any position in charge of anything. And here it is, he want to be in charge of people's health. I am saying that it's time that the Trinidad government expose what treaty they signed and why they have to pull out from it. And next thing I want to tell you, do you know that Canada about 2 weeks ago said that they're not going to release any information about COVID until the next 12 years?
No,
do you know
I'm not aware. I'm not aware.
Do you know that Pfizer wanted not to release anything for 75 years? Huh?
According to them?
Yeah, and Pfizer wanted to do the same thing. They wanted a court rule that they can't do it. They wanted to wait until 75 years to release the COVID information. And the court ruled that they have to release it. But you see, the media not reporting these kind of things because you remember who paid the piper that's called the tune?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if it's, when you hear the news, you say who paying them?
The initial stages of these vaccines, yeah.
Thank you so much, caller. Oh boy, that was time. Let's continue there quick. Oh boy.
We have to go for the break. We gotta go for the break. You wanna take one?
All right, now let's go for that quick break and come back. When we come back, more right here on the Ground Report. We'll be back.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most. On air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
This March 8th, in celebration of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly presents Women Who Lead. Imagine a world free of bias and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where women's achievements are celebrated and their voices amplified. For over a century, International Women's Day has championed gender equality, and the journey continues. Join us as we highlight powerful, inspiring women who are breaking barriers and shaping our future. Women Who Lead, launching March 8th on Talk City 91.1 FM. Together, we can forge gender equality.
All you ever notice how water is part of everything we do? From singing in the shower, to washing the car, to cooling off after a long day. Here's a friendly reminder from WASA. Before you move, before you relax, before you enjoy the day, pay your WASA bill. It's easy to do. Pay online anytime at wasa.gov.tt. Visit a WASA customer service center. Use the self-service kiosk or pay at authorized partners like Western Union and commercial banks. Water is life, and we're evolving to serve you. Join the evolution. Pay your bill. This message is brought to you by the Water and Sewage Authority.
The Prime Minister and the National Security Council had no choice. We immediately determined to advise Her Excellency, as I have said, that a state of public emergency existed in Trinidad and Tobago. This government is determined to never allow this country to deteriorate into the state of chaos and bloodshed which we met in May of 2025 when we took office. We shall never accept the slow, dangerous surrender to the criminal gangs in our midst. There are examples in the region of territories that have allowed that. Trinidad and Tobago's fate will be different.
This isn't just radio. This is your voice, your city, your platform.
Who else?
Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
This is Destra. And right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Well, nobody here. So the Attorney General's speech regarding the state of emergency says a lot. It says that the government recognizes that this is a problem of incursion, gang incursion that happened several years ago. So we have Venezuelan and Colombian gangs in Trinidad and Tobago, which completely changed our criminal activity here. The organized crime around the drug trade is now very different. It is South American. It's MS-13. It's Trinidad, right? And even our local gangs had to step up their game, become equally brutal and vicious in how they do things, and heads and arms and so on showing up in public, right? So that unique difference is as a direct result of us allowing first illegal immigrants from South America and then legalizing them. And our borders remained porous for a long time, largely because the former regime did not secure them when they had all the assets to secure them, especially the Damien vessels that the People's Partnership bought. Those vessels, those 12 vessels, should have been able to secure our borders, and they was simply not used. I have had that as a pet peeve for a long time. What we have now is the end result of all of that. So how do you fix it? Well, you engage in war. Look at what the Mexicans are doing now. Look at what El Salvador did, right? You engage in war. This is a war. This is not crime, really. You have to engage in war with these people. The Americans are already helping us by basically looking down the north in the Caribbean Sea and the east of the Caribbean, of the Atlantic side of Trinidad and Tobago. All we have to do is lock down the Gulf of Paria and the Columbus Channel down south. Once you've secured that, nothing can come in, no more new drugs, no more new gang members. You go on a blitzkrieg, lightning war. You be brutal. The point of a state of emergency is to temporarily suspend rights so that the police and the defense force can do things that they normally can't do. Grab them up. Any international whining, the world has changed. All right? International whining and winching from the UN should not bother us anymore, even CARICOM. We need to be brutal here, just like El Salvador. We need to do things a little different because it's war. Grab them up and hopefully they resist. You all know where I'm going with this. But of course, if they don't, you arrest them and bring them before the court. And I also would say there should be mass, once you're caught up in this and you're a foreigner, there should be mass deportations, right? This is the way we need to do it. And we need to be absolutely ruthless and brutal, treat it as a war. That's the whole point of a state of emergency. I hope that's what they do. In fact, I'm sure that's what they're going to do. They're going to ask the Americans for help, especially around intelligence, because the Americans have their drones flying over already. Those things can read your number plate from thousands of feet up and miles away. They can even listen in on telephone conversations. Use those assets. Ask the Americans for help. They will help you. So don't be surprised if that's what happens, because I'm sure that's what the government is about to do.
Andy, you're a real backhand on this one already, you know. My husband passed because we were on our way to church. Right? Thank you, Lennox, for defending me. Well, to the gentleman that called and responded, right? First of all, I was in the company of my husband. Secondly, you don't know my destination, our destination at that time. If we could not have made that route that you are suggesting because of where we were heading, right? So this has nothing to do with my insecurities and what my husband was doing. We were together going to church, all right? And this is something that has been happening for quite a while. It does not look nice to know that the court and the police station is so close. And these are the kinds of things you would not believe. Sometimes the young little girls that you see doing these things. So it's a matter of safety for them, right? I know you're trying to bring a narrative, but I was in the company of my husband. Thank you so much.
Bang, 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 bang. Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Director Stripes. Mr. Good morning to Kingsley, a part of the Talk City family. What a big program from 3 to 6 here in Posad. And they ain't promoting Kingsley program. Mr. Good morning to Anderson and the crew and the Bitam. My two partners in crime. They're out of the doghouse. I'm glad for them. They work hard. Is that scarce in the doghouse? I know when I will come out of the doghouse and get my little bone and be happy like everybody else. So, and they look to listening. Kingsley, keep it up. Anderson, keep it up. You know, all the fighters, all the supporting your honorable Prime Minister, any means necessary. Bless.
No, but again, so that's the David Nackett thing. This is another example of how somebody can be ideologically captured by false information. What happens in the Middle East has nothing to do with genocide from the standpoint of Zionism. Of the 9 million Israeli citizens, over 2 million of them are Muslim. Not any normal kind of Muslim, Arab Muslims who are living in the Levant. You know what you call that? You call that a Palestinian. Over 2 million Israeli citizens are Palestinian and full-blown citizens of that country. And a Palestinian judge sent the Israeli prime minister to prison. Don't believe me, go Google it yourself. Meanwhile, across the 22 Arab Muslim states in the Middle East, what percentage of their population is Israeli or Jewish or even Christian? You won't get a percentage number. You have to look at single digits sometimes. So there has been a genocide in the Middle East over the last 70, 80 years, right? And we have our example here. The Syrian Lebanese community in Trinidad and Tobago is basically people who fled that genocide. What is happening in the Middle East today is finally that aggression, especially from countries like Iran, who intend, as I played for you all what the Saudi Arabian prince said, who intend to take over the Middle East. And the Sunni-Shia divide is real. That has been going on for over 1,000 years. So a lot of these countries that have been infiltrated by the Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis and the Muslim Brotherhood, which are all proxies of Iran, terrorist organizations which are funded by Iran to infiltrate and take over these countries across the Middle East. That conflict has been going on forever. You're all living down here thinking everything is nice and honky-dory over there among the Muslim community. No, for a long time there has been conflict. And they are only too happy to see what's happening today because they have not been able to stop Iran from doing what they've been doing. So this has nothing to do with Zionism, right? Imagine the Muslim world is siding with Israel in dealing with this matter because they finally got somebody who will stand with them to deal with Iran. They haven't been able to deal with the bully on their own. The Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, certainly Lebanon, right? So that's what's going on. And the families of the 30 to 50,000 people who were killed in January in Iran, right? They too would only be happy, they're extremely happy for what's going on here. And the thousands, many tens of thousands over the many years who have also been killed will be happy to see what's going on today. But you're down here as armchair coaches thinking because you're ideologically against the West, you hate the West, you hate Israel as the only free country in the Middle East. Because you are ideologically against that, you want to side with Iran in this matter. Well, yesterday Andy used a phrase, boy, and it's a powerful phrase, the right side of history. You are not.
Andy, morning. Lennox, morning. Snipes, good morning. Andy, you and Lennox in particular, I want to hear your opinion on what I'm about to say. Now, you know, concerning, well, the SUA and so on, and, well, there'll be a lot of more, how to put it, reads, if you want to put it in that way. But what I want to ask you all, the different things what the government will be collecting, police and so on, like guns and drugs and things, I believe that these things should be destroyed.
You done made a contribution on that. You did tell me I could don't play it. Let's continue quick.
Pleasant morning to the ground report, to Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, and Mighty Kerr. Wherever you are, thank God, the Almighty God, that He brought you all back out safe, and your family. Look over your family through the night to keep you all safe as well. Thank you all for a new day that God has made. I want to tell Beckles or Penny something. But you want to run on media. Every day on the media talking about Kamala. All you, you know what I'm telling you? All you so get disappointed in life. All you thought will remain there forever and drain the treasury. I want to keep a meeting but you already go right down and ask all of them what to do with the money that passed through their hand. What to do with the money, give a count for every cent. And when you say ask, I want you to ask the man they call, who likes to talk plenty like a parrot, Gary Griffith, what become of your young stepdaughter, where she is? Right? You're invited in everything Alexander do and everybody do. You're not in government, you know. Or you're walking around like a machine. Try to get something to do now. Penny, let me tell you something. All you destroy this country. All of all you. You know that. All you come like people you innocent. All you guilty and all you trembling. Right? Because you know what they all name will come up with Donald Trump. Right? So cool yourself now. Take a rest now. Go and spend some days somewhere, enjoy yourself. Every minute you're on Kamala. Kamala is educated, you know, she's not stupid. The UNC government is a brilliant government. All you destroy everything. All you set a demonic, PNM, Lucifer, children and grandchildren. And Lucifer himself, say you're hungry, you want our food. Mash all you. All your opposition and the supporters. And this government not listening to all, they don't want to advise somebody. The intelligent know what to do. All they can say what they want, they don't take it all. They don't need all it to support them in parliament either. So, get the hands.
Since I small, I have known of people and heard people talking, big people talking, that they're going to these countries abroad. Some of them were even in the what will call it, boy, these small islands nearby to live, but they didn't go getting passports. Most of them went hiding. They'll go by some friend, go by some family and thing, and work and all that, and even send for one or two other children until finally, after some years living a hidden life in these countries, they will get being, you know, to become citizens, and then they will that fear will come up at their back. But many people from Trinidad, so that's nothing new.
Nice. We're going to go for a quick break and come back. When we come back, more. We have to finish off these voice notes, them, man. Director, take me out.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT. Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Jerry Lean Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
It's all good right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for Women Who Lead. Because when women rise, we all rise.
From the road to the radio. Talk City 91.1. Any views or opinions expressed on the Ground Report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Nice. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, we only have approximately 8 minutes, eh? Time check. Yeah, it's 9 minutes to the hour. To 10 o'clock. To 9 o'clock, in fact. And you're listening to the Ground Report. Let me just finish off because still have Santa Cruz voice note to finish off too. Oh boy, all those voice notes, and then we get them off our hands. Nice.
So we probably could say now that we will read the statement from the Honorable Prime Minister on the whole question of the reinstatement of another SOE. I don't think we will do justice because we wouldn't have enough time.
Yeah. Not only that, I breaks in that, you know. You realize that the pitbull breaks in that because again, I know that thing the headline and we fighting about something. That decision done made, the Attorney General to me deliberated on that fairly fine. And what will we do? The Prime Minister.
Yeah, but I think coming from the horse's mouth gives it greater credence and legitimacy because, of course, she is, after all, the head of government and the Prime Minister, and therefore I think we owe it to her to owe it to the public to, of course, hear from the Prime Minister herself. But we have different views, but as I said, we would conclude that we will deal with that tomorrow instead.
Yeah. Oh boy. Where my Santa Cruz voice not going there now? Where the hell? Let me play this one by the time you're quick then.
No, but again, I disagree strongly, Lennox, about fear of reprisals based on the rules-based order of the United Nations when we're talking about migrants and allowing migrants to come into our country. The rules-based order of the United Nations is collapsing, and it is so because they've allowed themselves to be captured by China, to be used as a weapon. So in a lot of the recent things happening in Venezuela and so on, China has used its influence, certainly in CARICOM and other parts of the world, even parts of Europe, countries they've captured, to speak against what the Americans did in Venezuela and what they're doing now in Iran, because those are China's partners. So the rules-based order has been falling apart. It has certainly been captured for a long time. The WTO, definitely. All the trade violations that China generally engages in, and countries would bring their grievances. When it comes time to vote, they have the influence of all these little islands all around the world to vote on their behalf. That is what the rules-based order has become. The United Nations is captured, and CARICOM is captured, and NATO isn't far behind. So these things are going to fall apart. These institutions are going to fail. And certainly because the Americans are pulling out their funding, I mean, the WHO, what they did in COVID, the atrocity that the WHO did in COVID, again to protect China. Trump said, no, I'm pulling my money out of that. Right? So the rules-based order is collapsing. And what we need to be doing is forging bilateral arrangements with ideologically aligned countries in the region and otherwise. And that will be our bloc who would stand against whoever wants to. You can sanction me if you want. Sanctions just means I don't want to deal business with you. No problem, I'll do business with somebody else. You certainly will be able to deal and do business with the Americans. So no, don't be afraid of rules-based order. And as far as the migrant situation here, it cannot be that 200,000 plus illegal migrants in a small country like this is good for it.
Good morning to you, Lennox, Mikey, Snaps, and to everybody out there. I heard the lady asking about Long Circular. Yes, he's okay. I keep in touch with him. He's okay, but he's no longer in Long Circular. He's now living in Princestown. And he's okay. He's okay. But I'll next time I speak with him, I'll let him know that you were asking for him. Take care.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. This is the mother of all of SOE. We have the whole bigs. Because I find the commercial now, police will be running by the Attorney General, by the Prime Minister, they call state emergency. When we pay out to go and do the work out there, all you know the criminals, all you know them by name, by number, go and root them out in the community. Stop using state emergency. We know the Joseph Bill failed, the PNM supporter base. Them know what betterment in the community. Go and root them out. Don't try to make my Prime Minister look bad with that state emergency, like 3 state emergencies. Some now look come out of this, you know. Pigs are going to look up, you know. Yeah, and they must have good morning to my partner in crime, Kingsley, Anderson. I'm glad for my brothers and them, man. Anderson, happy. Kingsley! Yeah, and Talk City family and then Andy Williams and promoting your program if you are Passad. I say #1 supporter. I know where you come from. You come from far.
Why you only want to bring me back and so right through so. But right through you only thinking about Andy and promoting Kingsley program and this one program. Everybody know Trinidad and Tobago. On an evening now, on the flagship, you're gonna get Sudat Prasad and Kingsley. And right after that, yes, heavy duty is not there. With Sudat Prasad no more is Kingsley and Sudat Prasad. And right after that, you're gonna get from 6 o'clock, you're gonna get heavy duty with David Welch. I don't know David Welch. Yes, David Welch on heavy duty has a program from 6 to 8 under the radar. Right? Watch me, don't play no lawyer for people and thing, man. That program had to pay me away. I mean, I work hard, build my reputation, like Diego Maradona, like Brian Lara, like all these people. So all of them must get paid for their talent. And you want Andy Williams right to endorse KFC, endorse this one, endorse that one. And nobody want to pay the pitbull for his talent too. So why is this sprung out of out everybody else? KFC, Kingsley, and pay me for the endorsement. Right? Rice.
I hold no privy for KFC, but I suppose he probably is directing it because we by whether advertently or inadvertently, whether design or not design, the fact is that we are one family.
Yes.
Yeah, in the same place.
Right
so
to.
I suppose it's from that perspective he's attempting to solicit your support for someone that he identifies with. So don't vex him too much.
Every minute. Andy, only want to promote Kingsy. Okay.
Yeah, don't vex him.
Only get big. Only tonight, Lennox Smith said we'll have corridor transformation. Yes, it will. From 8 o'clock. And don't forget, after God family comes first, Trinidad and Tobago be safe on the nation's roads. Coming up next, off the record, the big program right after the ground report with Mr. X and Stefan. So until tomorrow morning, please go on behalf of the ground report team, Director Snipes, the big word man, Lennox Smith, I'm Andy Williams, better known as the Pitbull of Radio. Riff. We are out of here.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
This is about creating opportunity through responsible management and citizen participation in national wealth. We are targeting US $3 billion in new investment within the next few years in energy, in construction, in tourism, and the digital economy.
Music.
It's reconstruction time in Trinidad, so put your shoulder to the wheel, man, lad, move on, don't stop till you reach the top. You put a hand and I put a hand and we will see. For big and for small, in no time at all, prosperity. There's no other way to do it. Show your patriotic spirit, unity, somehow. If Trinidad ever needed you, is now.
Culture.
The budget has goodies and some not so goodies, but that is because fairness requires that everyone plays their part.
Engaging conversations. Latest news.